glad to have with me today Natalie Thurman. She represents Shackley. I met her at networking, and she's such a darling, beautiful soul. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, so when we met, we were at networking, and I think that everybody there, they're just lovely people. I'm so glad that I went and that we met that day. So just tell me about how did you find Shackley?
Long story, but I'll make it
It's okay.
short.
That's okay.
Well, I like to tell people a little bit about my background.
Yes, please.
When I was young, I lived on a farm for a little while, and then lived in a very small house, 8 by 28, with my a trailer with my parents for 4 years. So I got used to the close quarters.
Yes.
But I was brought up to recycle, use things twice, and make things last
I like
because they
that.
went through the Depression.
Yeah.
And then I came to Detroit, and when I was 17, just out of high school, after I went to Bible school, I got married. Anyway, had a family. I always gardened because that
awesome.
little bit of farm left with me.
Yeah.
And then I
Feel
sewed
good.
from the time I was 12, and I sewed
Aw.
all my kids' clothes.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
and then when I went to school, I studied music. So I'm a pianist and organist. And then about
Wow.
44 years ago, I got a lot of pain, and it was arthritis in my arm. They called it tendonitis or
Okay.
tennis elbow or something.
Right.
But I had a brace, and it was, I needed my arm.
Oh, absolutely.
And fortunately, friends introduced me to natural supplements, and
Changed everything,
changed
really.
my life.
I'm
And my
so
husband
glad.
was in a back brace, and
Oh.
few months later, he was back to golf and everything, and no surgery. Surgery wasn't advised at that time of
Wow.
life anyway, back 44 years ago.
Yeah.
So here I am.
I'm
44
so
years later,
glad.
I'm not on any medications, and I don't have any arthritis.
Wow.
And
Isn't
I'm,
that like
you know,
unbelievable?
yeah,
Arthritis
full
often
strength and energy.
progresses, so it sometimes when it starts it's not so bad, but after a couple of years like it can get really debilitating. You know what I mean? And so I'm just so glad that you found it when you did, because not just your children but grandchildren and grandchildren, everyone benefits, right? So, but Shackley's, it's very important that they have quality materials that are naturally derived, like natural.
Yes, we have incredibly wonderful products. And of course, Dr. Shackley wanted everything to be in harmony with nature
That's beautiful.
and wanted everything to be safe for us at the cellular level.
Oh my goodness.
So they do, well, he brought out the first multi in the United States in 1915. So we have
I
over
can't
100
imagine.
years of research. He was a chiropractor, but he was also a research scientist and
Wow.
very ahead of his time.
Very, yeah, like 100 years.
Yeah, right.
Like that's unbelievable. I'm not sure. Like nobody had multivitamins at that point. Nobody had
Well,
them.
not in the United States. Maybe in Europe they did.
Wow.
And so he developed different products to be used through his practice
Okay.
as a chiropractor.
As a chiropractor. Okay.
Um,
And people would come to him with different needs, right? That
yeah,
somebody
he
else
even,
might.
He even had an airplane that he flew places.
Oh
and
my goodness.
He had like what we would call now a motorhome, a little thing that he took his
That you can
family
actually
and
live in
took
and-
his family
yeah.
on vacation. He was,
Aw.
a very inventive person.
Sounds like a lovely soul, though, doesn't he? Like very wise, but really, he deeply cares about people living their best life. Because if you don't have your health, my mom used to say this: if you don't have your health, you don't have anything,
Right. Yeah.
right? And I think he must have really lived it, not just studied it or taught it, but actually lived it.
Yes.
And imagine the profound influence on his children, but now like on the whole company, because I feel like Shackley has really kept his spirit.
Exactly. Yes. And when he did form the company, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't want the products sold in stores
Mm-hmm.
because they needed to be explained. We
Oh.
talk to people about what their needs are,
Right,
not just throw them something.
right. Yeah.
Or for instance,
awesome.
the biodegradable cleaners are extremely concentrated. And if we actually teach people how to use them or
Right.
they waste them, that
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so but he also wanted the people that distributed them to earn from it.
Awesome.
So that's the way the whole company
Wow.
is set up.
He truly, like, is a generous soul.
Yes, yes.
He truly is.
Well, he put the golden rule in the company charter as well.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, he really, I wish a lot of people would run businesses like him.
Right. And fortunately, now we have our new owner that purchased our company 20 years ago has the same philosophy
Oh, I'm so
and
glad.
the same care for people and the same.
I'm
His
so
name
glad
is
to hear
Roger
that.
Barnett. Anyone can look him up online and check him out.
Mm-hmm.
But there too, he's very personable and caring, but also giving type of person.
That's amazing. I'm glad you have the right person. I guess it's important because it sort of like innervates everything you do, right? It's the way that he runs the company. And so everything falls from that, everything follows that lead, that vision.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Hmm.
So I can imagine like how many products. So that's like over 100 years. Like how many products were there at the beginning? Kind of like 5 or 10, as opposed to how many products there are now?
Well, when he started, he had one product, and it was the multivitamin.
Multivitamin.
But it was a liquid at that time.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
But that was, but when he started the company,
Mm-hmm.
he had one product that was called Pro Lesson Nibblers, which unfortunately we no longer have.
Aw,
But it was a little chewable,
like something that you.
like maybe 3 or 4 aspirin glued together, a little
Yeah.
chewable thing,
Yeah.
and it was protein and lecithin.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was very good for us,
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was plant protein, of course.
Oh, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a leaf or something. Like, is there something in the logo?
Yes, there's a
Right.
leaf.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It's really, that's so important because even, no matter what it is, like if it's a shampoo or whether it's something that you take or a lotion or something like that, all the products are naturally
Yeah, see,
created.
there's like 2,500 chemicals out there somewhere,
Wow.
and any of them can be in your food,
Yes.
in your cleaners, especially
Oh my gosh.
household cleaners,
I never thought about that.
and or your shampoo or your skincare.
Wow.
And unlike when I was a kid, now we know that whatever we put on goes in. I mean, they have all kinds of patches and different things that
Yeah.
they use even for medication.
Mm-hmm.
Because what goes
That's true.
on goes in. What we breathe is part of our life.
Wow.
And so getting
Everything
the
about-
toxins out of your life is very, very important. That's
Right.
where some of the household cleaners come in.
'Cause you think about how abrasive and how strong cleaners can be. And so I think it's kind of interesting that you can like dilute a very concentrated,
Yeah, you want me to
right?
show you?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
We have this organic cleaner
Mm-hmm.
that's a pint is about $13. So if you saw it in the store next to a pint of Windex, you'd say, "What a rip," But it makes $5,000 worth of Windex because you use your own bottle
Oh.
and you put a pint of water and 2 drops for a window cleaner. Costs you a penny.
So that costs, yeah, that's
And
amazing.
then you're not transporting lots of bottles and lots of water.
That's true.
And you're not throwing lots of bottles in the landfill. And there's other uses.
Wow.
But you use it according to what the result is that you want.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing
And
because you think of that, like the effect over a lifetime of just that one product can save so much, right?
Well, that one bottle probably lasts you 2 or 3 years.
Oh my
Unless you
goodness.
clean a lot more than I do.
That's incredible. Wow. That's incredible.
And we have a full line, but we only have a little bit. We don't have like 4 or 5 different fragrances of this and that.
Yeah.
Just a very simple, we keep things very simple.
That's really good. I think simple is good, don't you?
Yes.
Do you have cosmetics too?
Well, we don't have a lot of cosmetics, but we have wonderful skincare,
Excellent.
and it's called Youth. And it's
That's beautiful.
there to I don't know how much can be seen by these people, but
You can
here's a
actually
little-
see, yeah,
here's
really
a little,
well.
brochure that shows it's all botanicals. It's
Wow.
not chemicals.
What are those for? What
Well,
are they, please?
I can't always pronounce them correctly.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
probably
one is
crazy.
Lotus japonicus. The one
Okay.
is Schisandra sinensis.
Oh, good
And
Lord.
the other one is the combination of vitamins that the company puts into the skincare,
Wow.
and so that it's blocks the free radicals and things.
Radicals.
And this one
Uh-huh.
is the muscadine grape, which is an
Oh,
anti-aging
wow.
product that comes from Alabama and Mississippi, which we also have as an internal
Wow.
product. It's an
So
anti-aging
you can
product.
actually take it, ingest it.
But it's in the
Wow.
skincare as well.
Well, you have
We do
amazing
have
skin.
a few colors. Um, we have skip mascara.
Yeah. So like
We
basic
have
things.
a little blush.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
But not eyeshadows and a lot of things. Not a lot of things.
Yeah. But at least you have the skincare. So youth, would you put it on morning or like evening or,
Well, the ideal thing is you would use it morning and evening.
very good.
The ideal.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
Sometimes I jump in bed without it.
Because some days you're just so tired. You're just like, oh my gosh. I
But,
totally agree.
Another thing about the skincare is our protein products
Wow.
internally build great skin.
Oh, okay.
They're all plant protein.
Because you're kind of going to the source, right? Like you're kind of going where the protein, I guess, is being manufactured by our own bodies. Kind of like,
Well, I mean, plant protein that we eat
yes.
builds tremendous skin as well,
Wow.
because protein is one of the essential parts of our food chain,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, we'd have a whole different body, I think, if we didn't take in enough protein. And I think a lot of people are kind of, aware that we need certain things to be at optimal wellness. But there's so many vitamins and things like that. You can go to a store and just be bombarded with all the possibilities there are for like skincare or vitamins. And it's just nice to go to a company where you know that they wouldn't have developed it unless it was like of a certain standard.
Correct. They have actually the Shackley products are beyond organic,
That's interesting.
because organic has to do with the soil
Right.
and the perhaps the fertilizers that are used and so forth. But things can be airborne or waterborne as well, pesticides and sprays and different things.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
they
that's
they
true.
do 350 tests on every raw ingredient to make sure there is no pollution of any kind. And if they find some, we just don't have the product until they can get clean product
350 tests.
on every raw ingredient.
Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, you can tell they really care. That's serious quality control, isn't
Yeah,
it?
they do about 10,000 tests every year.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So if you wanted to be a distributor of Shackley, I guess you could start to like learn about the products and use them yourself, right? It's a good thing if you want to distribute them to try them out, right?
Well, yes, actually, I really direct people just to be a member
Yeah.
to get the products at a discount.
Yes.
And like you say, try and
That
improve
makes sense.
them. And actually, if I may, I'll
Of course.
share with you a little
Of course.
package that
No
we've
problem.
been not giving out, but we've been emphasizing. It's like going back to our roots
Okay.
of 44 years ago when I started.
Wow.
We started with just a few things.
Right. Exactly.
We
Yeah.
didn't have any big order.
Right.
So we have what we call the heritage plan now, and it's the essential it's energizing soy protein,
Wow.
which is one from years back,
Okay.
but we still have it,
Wow.
and it has like
That's a good
it
product
says-
if it's,
it's-
the test of time, right? And like,
oh, right.
that's incredible.
Digressing a moment, I was told recently that 25% of the volume of Shackley that's sold is purchased by people who have been using the products over 30 years.
Oh my goodness. That's a huge percentage. So people, once they discover it and try it out, they stay with it.
Right. I don't want to quit. What would-
Wow. Why would you, right? Because it's working. You can tell like it's actually working. And maybe your skin before is not the same as your skin now or whatever. And if you can feel the difference, and even if like you're worried about toxins and you feel healthier, not getting sick as much, and you just feel like maybe you're glowing, your skin is just glowing, like why would you give that up, right? It
Right,
doesn't make
right.
sense.
So there's three simple things in this little program.
Okay, great.
And the second one is the multivitamin, which comes down from Dr. Shackley years ago.
Wow.
And we have a little variety. We have men, women,
Yes.
over 50.
Right.
And then a
Exactly.
little pearl, which is for the gut.
Wow.
Optiflora, which is probiotic.
Okay, yes.
So those three little products are a wonderful little package.
That's awesome.
And they're under $100.
For the
And
whole
so,
thing.
And
And it
they're
lasts.
guaranteed if you don't feel better at the end of the month, you get your money back.
No way. They
Yeah.
really stand behind their products,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
That's important. But it's just so nice to have repeat customers, really, because you know that you're giving them something that you believe in. Because it'd be awful, like, with your own friends and family, like, what if it didn't work and it was just marketing? Like, at least this way, if you can recommend it to people that you know and that know you, you can have confidence that this can only help you, right?
Right. And I have customers that I've had for I've been using them 44 years. Well,
Unbelievable.
people saw the difference. I have one customer in Virginia that calls me every month for me to put her order in because it's easier than her doing it.
Yes,
And-
which is fine, right? You're like, don't worry.
Because
about
then
it.
we get to visit.
Yeah.
And she's been my customer for 42 years.
That is unbelievable. That is, aren't you so happy that,
Oh,
like,
right.
you've blessed people. You're literally blessing people. And that's so wonderful.
Yes, that's the main thing. Hmm.
So, so the protein, would you add that to, like, water or milk, or how do you take the protein powder? What do you think is a nice thing to blend it with?
Well, one of my newer customers just puts it in water.
So that actually dissolves in water, yeah?
Well, you shake it. I tell them
You shake it, yeah,
put
true.
it in a peanut butter jar and shake the living daylights out of it, or use one of those little frother things in a glass.
Mixes
mix it
really
up.
well.
Most
Yeah.
people, it's a little bit more full-bodied in milk or maybe almond milk or something like that. you
Right.
know.
Depending on what the person wants to have.
Myself, I use a real blender. I put in carrots and celery and kale and protein
Wow.
and get some of my vegetables in
That's
the morning.
amazing.
It's an ugly color, but
Yeah, totally. And your body's like, ooh, like these are all like different components that we need. So it's
Right.
okay,
you
right?
don't have to chew them, and they taste good.
No, and you don't want to kind of mess with it. If it's feeling good, it's helping you. And also the probiotic. I think that's a really important thing that not everyone thinks about. Like, it's not the top of your mind, gut bacteria, or like, why am I not feeling as good as I used to, or whatever it is. Like, it could be like one simple fix, because isn't like our internal environment's very important, right, for our health?
Right, and our food chain has antibiotics and different things. We don't have to be on an antibiotic to eat them.
That's true.
And so
we don't know, right?
Right, and we have that. Our gut is so connected with our brain, with our vagus nerve, and the messages go back and forth. And so,
Right.
and they say that 70% of our immune system comes from our gut.
I didn't know that.
So if we have a healthy gut, we're healthy all over.
That's really important, 70%. Wow, especially this time of year, because you don't want to get sick, and it can really take over your life for a couple weeks, if you're not feeling well. And sometimes when you have a cough, it takes like 3 or 4 weeks to get rid of the cough, right? So if your immune system is a little stronger, then you don't have to get sick every single time something's going around, right?
And there's a lot of things. Health is not a bunch of pills. It's hydration. We need our water.
Is it ever?
We need to have good water at home. We need to have a water purifier at home if possible.
Right.
And
then you know it's all
exercise
right.
and sleep and managing the stress. It's all one big picture.
Yeah.
It's not just.
It's not compartmentalized into different,
No.
right?
No, our health is a big picture.
That's amazing.
But on the other hand, a lot of illnesses come from like inflammation. And so
Yes.
if we can get our body in an alkaline position with vegetables and things,
Okay.
and not so much because
Processed and yeah. I know.
sweets and meat and things that bring off acid,
Yeah.
that has a lot to do with it. It's a whole big picture.
Yeah, it really
and
is.
you learn by doing.
Yes. And by
I've been at
experimenting
this
sometimes.
44 years, so I didn't bubble over with all this when I first started.
No, it's a learning process, but it's like trial and error over 40 years, like you'd really get to know what works and what doesn't work, and people are different. So you could maybe start them on something. And if it was, yeah, I like it, but you have something that does this, then you can always pivot a little bit and say,
Sure.
try this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's why we start. I've been suggesting people start with this very simple
This
program
3.
at the end of the month.
Right.
Then you reevaluate and say, well, okay, this.
Go from there.
What did this do for you? If it didn't do anything for you, well, too bad.
But you're healthier than if you didn't take it.
And then if it did, then we go from there.
Let's go to something else.
Sure.
Do you have any weight loss products?
Yes.
Excellent.
Right. Yeah, we have but even this, if it's one of your meals a day,
That might help as well, right?
It can help balance things out, but we do have. It's
Weight
called
loss.
180.
Okay.
Because it's a turnaround,
Oh, that's perfect.
and we have a 7-day cleanse that can start with that as well.
Wow.
But like I said, it's sometimes nice just to start with something simple like this one little program. But
Yeah.
if that's what the person wants, then that's what we'll do.
Right.
Because it's not my decision, it's their decision.
And it's them that has to go through, whatever it is that they intend to do. Like if they're like, okay, I'm going to start walking every day, or I'm going to start taking yoga classes or whatever, like that's their path, right? But at least you can give them something. Like in your toolkit, you have something to offer them that, really it will help, because we need protein. We need like natural, things taken in our body. But also the cleaning is, it's something you don't really think about for health, but it's so important, because if there's something in your environment and your body is not liking it, like sometimes people can get a rash and things like that. And sometimes you wonder, like, what is it? What did I change? Sometimes it's not the food. It could be like something that you're using to clean, right?
Right, and also like children's behavior, ADD and ADHD and things
Right.
like that can be drastically
Wow.
improved by getting the toxins out of the home
Oh, my
and out of the
goodness.
food.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
you
Sorry
know.
to have to. Yeah, but it's true, right? Because
Right, but
wow.
and also we haven't mentioned it, but we do have a full line of sports products as well,
Oh, I didn't know.
and we have over 150 Olympian medalists that have used the products.
No way. Oh,
successfully.
my
They work
goodness.
and they're safe.
Wow.
So that's a good choice.
That's a really good
Instead of
endorsement,
Red
right?
Bull, perhaps, or something along that line.
Oh, my
They can
goodness.
switch the young people even over to
150 like endorsed like athletes and people that.
Olympian athletes.
Unbelievable.
That have less, yeah, and there's.
Wow.
In fact, a person can go to athletes.shackley.com
Mm-hmm.
and read their stories. Some of them.
Oh my goodness. Those are amazing ambassadors for the brand, aren't they? Because
yeah.
it doesn't get better than that. Like they are the most
And
powerful.
they're not paid to give them. I mean, they might be
Oh, my
provided
good-
with some products, but they're
Wow.
not paid anything.
That's amazing. Yeah, and it's just great, because if people are looking for a solution, sometimes you don't know where to look, right?
Right.
And
Or
something
you
kind of
go
comes
to a
into your
store
life.
and there's so many crazy things on the shelf. You think, what in the world?
Absolutely. Do you know, like when we used to go to a drugstore, 20 or 30 years ago, we weren't so overwhelmed. Like I feel overwhelmed, like in a drugstore now. Like there's just so much. You almost like too many choices, and you don't know who to trust, right?
I don't go to a drugstore.
You don't go to a drugstore because you don't need anything, right? I think that's
No.
amazing.
We have stuff for colds and flu and everything.
Do you really? Wow. Is there anything for like allergies? Or like, I guess the cold, and if it was going to help with a cold and flu, it might, people have really like seasonal hay fever or something like that. They might actually find relief from something like that, right? Wow. So, yeah, and gentlemen too, like because there's sports things, and like it doesn't matter. You don't have to be like a woman. You like anyone can benefit from
Oh, the
Shackley's.
men use the skincare too.
No way.
Oh, well, most of it
I'm
is
so
fragrance
glad.
free and colorless.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause-
My coach uses it morning and night, and he has beautiful complexion.
oh, that's lovely. That's amazing, because I'm sure he gets compliments.
And he's got to be in his late 70s.
Oh my
I'm sure.
goodness. Wow. That's amazing, because age is something else altogether. It really
And we
is.
have zinc and saw pimento and some of those things to help the men too.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, they would appreciate that, because they
Oh, and another thing
Wow.
that's fun
yeah.
that I bought my
It's okay. You bought for someone. It's okay.
I bought for.
Don't worry,
They
we're
have,
good.
They
We're
have
good.
beard stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
Beard
Like so that
oil
it's
and-
like like hydrating in a way. Like it's not because we can get so dry this time of year, right? Like is there like a lip balm too? Because
Yes.
we all use lip balm.
Yeah, we have nice lip balms. A couple of them. Some are colored. I mean,
Like a little bit of color, right? Like
Yeah,
just a hint of color.
And then some are just more like cream. that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Put on your lips.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, like you kind of have to have one in your car, one in
Yeah,
your.
I didn't bring one, but they're in a little tub.
Oh
just
yeah,
a-
you were
just-
telling me like a little, tiny little, and you
Like a little
open like a
tub. You can
jar,
have it.
like a
Yeah,
little
like a
jar,
jar.
and then you kind of just put it on your lips.
Yeah.
That's so fun, isn't it? I remembered years ago. Do you remember the Body Shop?
I remember the
long
name.
time ago, the Body Shop. They had like these little pots of the lip products, and like nobody had ever seen them before. So it was almost like you had to go there to get it. So I don't know if they're still in business, but it's nice to know that you can go to Shackley and actually have a little pot. Like if you really like that format, that you can actually get it.
They have another one. I forgot what they call it. It's like a pencil, but it's fat.
Okay, yeah,
and,
like
and
a
you can use it either as a lip,
Like
or
a
as
liner?
or as
like a blush.
put it on like a
Yeah,
blush.
that's really nice because then the colors go, 'cause it's the same color, you know what I mean? 'Cause you don't have to worry about that. I think that in our cars too, it's nice to have like a little touch-up kit, like have one of those with the blush and the lip, and then like you sort of feel like you're ready to go anywhere,
Right.
This time of year too, like you never know where you're going to end up. You might be like, okay, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, and then you see something else and go there, and then, so it's nice to have something to touch up, in the car.
I don't exactly know the full story, but there was a company, if I understood the story correctly, that was going to fold.
Oh yeah.
And Roger Barnett, our owner, a couple years purchased the company.
Wow.
And it's called Pomifera. So we have that in our catalog now, and that's where some of
Wow.
these colors came from.
That's awesome.
And then lately there's been another couple businesses that were in the skincare industry that their companies changed policies. And some of those people are coming over and using the Shackley product and
Wow.
having Roger has taken them in as a group.
That's amazing. That's a really good business decision because you're not only helping people, but you're actually like fundamentally changing their company, but also yours. And they can believe in a brand that's going to be a good steward of their products.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Well, they will be using our products.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's wonderful. I'm so glad that he's your leader because everything, it has to be done with a certain kind of discerning, judgment and with a deep caring, about the whole person.
Yes.
That's what I get. It's like the whole person isn't just like, here's a protein shake or whatever. It's like you can actually incorporate products like this that are going to be high quality into many aspects of your life, I feel like I learned a lot today. I'm so glad you had time to come and talk with me.
Oh, I
Thank
really
you.
had fun being
Did
here.
you?
Thank you so much. Didn't have any idea what was going on.
Yeah, right. I know. I'm like, it's so hard to like prepare people. It's like, okay, it's just going to be a conversation as if we're sitting over tea, but to actually have done it, then you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad, right? That's what I hope. I hope that it was
what
enjoyable.
I endeavor to do is educate people into a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely.
That really pays off.
But you know what? You are just the best ambassador, if I can just say that right now. Thank you so much. Appreciate you tuning in. I hope that we learned some things about natural beauty and natural products because you have to trust, you're trusting things with your life, right? So it's very important that it's in the right spirit and led by the right people. So thank you, and we'll talk to you soon, and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So was my slide up there sometime?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it flash up there once, but I wasn't looking the rest of the time.
I